Sapper Michael Freeman used to be a sailor in the Royal Navy, but he's now in the Jordanian desert leading the advanced search team as they train to detect IEDs. He may be part of the last ever engineer regiment to deploy to Afghanistan, but for Michael, he'll soon be on his first tour of duty to Helmand.
Well, everybody will find it funny, but I used to get seasick when I was in the Navy, so it wasn't quite the correct career choice for me, so I left, and then when I got out into Civvy Street, I just didn't enjoy it very much, so I applied for the Army to do something different. The hardest thing is when you get down in your belt buckle to confirm, you know, making sure you go through the correct drills and you don't touch that pressure pad. So that's the hardest bit, I think, yeah.
This is Exercise Pashtun Links, which has been running twice a year since 2010. As combat troops leave Afghanistan later this year, this is the last Op Herrick pre-deployment training, and that means a new group has been formed.
Well, the Engineer Squadron Group is a mix of capabilities from across the Corps of Engineers, which have in the past, when we were larger in Afghanistan, been in separate entities. And as we've drawn down, we're bringing them into one entity, which will be our squadron.
Going into the corner, you've got like a white cable going into some ground set.
The searchers are already experts at detecting IEDs, but this scenario will test them to the limit. They have intelligence of weapons and drugs being held in this compound, but must clear the area of IEDs before anybody enters. It can sometimes take hours to move a short distance. It's slow and tiring work and needs bucket loads of patience. Advanced search teams have been operating in Afghanistan for the last decade now, so knowledge has been passed down and techniques revised, which is why this team behind me have had the best possible training. All they need now is practice, and with this sun and in this terrain, that's why Jordan is the perfect location. The whole time the team are being assessed as part of their authorisation process.
What I'm basically looking for is safe working procedures, a sound plan formed by the search advisor, and the dissemination of knowledge from him down to his team so they can formulate a decent threat assessment.
A precious member of the team is the High Assurance Military Working Dog.
It just provides a high assurance search for the search team, just so it lowers the threat a little bit more for them. It's very effective for the dogs to acclimatise to the heat. The ground is roughly the same as what it is in Afghanistan.
Once inside the compound, the team think they've found an IED and call upon the EOD team. They use the Dragon robot.
The Dragon's been on site for some time. It's removed the power source from that device. So as within any simple electronic circuit, once we remove the power source, we can assume then that circuit is dead. That then gives the operator the right to apply the Quarrel device, which blows any free matter, dust in this case, from the top of the device. This exposes the entire device and allows him to make an assessment of what is going on there.
It's important for the team to recover as much as possible from the scene to gather evidence and biometrics. They hand over the pressure plate and any power source to a weapons intelligence specialist.
We'll do some more photography in a more forensically aware environment, and we'll X-ray the pressure plate as well, just to see what type of variant is. Whether they're using like high metal content, so like saw blades, things like that, or potentially bare wire, or even carbon rods.
IEDs have been common in Afghanistan since the start of combat operations, but they've changed and developed over the years. Thankfully, the troops here have the best possible equipment to adapt to the threat they face.
Yeah, when we first started, it was we were looking for sort of high metal content, sort of Bixum operated IEDs, and our TTPs and our training was finding them very easily. As we've moved forward, the insurgent as well, he's developed his TTPs and target us, and we've had to sort of adapt to combat that.
Op Herrick 20, we will see a lot of change as we go through. We think we know how we're going to go into it, and we're structured for that, and we're prepared for that. But as things change, we're going to have to move along with it, and we'll be inherently flexible to get the job done.
What Op Herrick 20 has in store for the Engineer Squadron Group is unknown, but what's certain is that after the training they've had here in Jordan, they're prepared for anything. Laura Hawkins, Forces News, Jordan.